Hey guys, in this video, we're taking a look at the brand new LEGO Star Wars Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator from the 25th anniversary of Star Wars. LEGO sent this to me early to review, but of course all thoughts are my own, and this will come out on May 1st for $70 with 640 pieces and 4 exclusive minifigs, including the 25th anniversary Saw Gerrera minifig. Now that being said, this is not the first Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator we've gotten over the years. However, it is the smallest at play scale. However, the piece count and the build is very dense, so there's a lot of tennis balling back and forth, and we're going to decide in today's video if it's worth the $70 price tag. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, we have young Anakin. This is the first time we've gotten him as a minifig in quite a few years, and he has entirely new pieces. He uses the Harry Potter hairpiece in kind of that like sandy blonde hair color. Then, of course, for the face, you could see we've got a smirk on one side and an open mouth kind of stare on the other side. Then, of course, we've got a brand new torso with great printing on the back, as well as printing on the front, and short tan legs. So I guess those legs aren't new, but beyond that, the other 3 pieces are pretty new, and definitely exciting to add this figure to the Star Wars arsenal. Next up is Qui Gon, who makes for another great addition to this set. As you can see, he has a really nice cloth tarp piece on here as kind of like a cloak or something to that effect. Then, of course, we've got the hair and head, but I want to take those off first so that I can remove the cloak because there's so much great detail underneath that cloak that really doesn't get to shine when the cloak is over. That being said, I love that this is included, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of great detail underneath with the brand new torso and brand new legs, which even has foot printing, which is definitely a cool addition. Of course, he's got his green lightsaber, wouldn't be complete without it, and we could turn the figure around to see on the other side that we've kind of got a concerned face there, and overall, this might be my favorite figure of the set. I know it's crazy because we've gotten Qui-Gon so many times, but I just think that this one works really well, and I like it quite a bit. Finally, we've got Darth Maul, and this figure is great as well. Again, he might be my favorite figure here too. It's hard to decide what my favorites are, because this set does come with pretty much 4 perfect minifigs, honestly. Spoiler alert. But this Darth Maul is entirely new. The only thing reused here, of course, is the rubbery headpiece where his horns are. And that just sits on top of the head, and you line it up so that the tattoos match. But the head, torso, and legs are all brand new. They all look really great as well. We've got back printing on the back of the torso. Of course, he wouldn't be complete without his double-sided lightsaber. And he does have the fully yellow Sith eyes this time around, which really looks great and honestly makes the figure for me. I love this one, and I think it turned out awesome. And our final minifigure is Saw Gerrera. Now, when this figure was revealed, there was a lot of conversation online over him being dark green, whereas in the movies, he does have maybe a slightly lighter green tint, but when you see the minifigure in person, it really doesn't bother me at all. I really like it. Of course, he's got this great shoulder piece here with printing on the front and both shoulders, and we've got this really unique cape piece. We're going to take the shoulder piece off here in just a second, but I did want to give you the full 360 view of the figure as is. He also comes with this 25 years base, which you can see you could connect up with the other 25 years minifigs, which is very awesome. He uses the Finn hairpiece with a brand new head. You can see one side is kind of like a calm, discerning look, and the other side is kind of like a gritted teeth, angry face, which looks great as well. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and remove the shoulder piece here so that you can see what the cape looks like. First off, got great printing on that cape. Then we'll go ahead and lift that off and give you the full 360 spin so you can see all of the detail on the front of the torso and legs, as well as the back of the torso with like his little breathing tube there, which looks really good. And the final thing I have to comment is I think it's really funny how he does come with this like walking staff, but at the top of the walking staff is literally a perfect piece for Darth Maul's lightsaber, of course being double-ended and being a little bit bigger than the standard hilt in the movies. So you only get one of this piece in the entire set. I think it would have been cool to come with 2, or for it to be colored for Darth Maul so that it would work perfectly, but maybe LEGO will give it to us someday. But it's not in this set, and speaking of this set, let's take a look at the ship now. And now that brings us to the ship, which is about 600 pieces, give or take a little bit, when you deduct the minifigure piece count from the 640 piece count of the entire set. That being said, it is a very dense build. You know, some of the previous Sith Infiltrators are certainly larger than this, but they take up a lot more space, and they don't have as much density like here, where you've got all of these pieces that really build and contour together, and of course, I love the sloping that we get there as well. As far as play features go, the biggest one on the outside is just the display mode. The fact that you have these little kickstands up front that you could put down for landing gears works really, really well, although the ship does have a slightly, and I mean slightly, drooping forward there. You can see that, like, the nose just sits down at an angle a little bit. It's really not even worth commenting on, to be honest, but then, of course, you could just kick the foot back and push this up on both sides for flight mode, and I really like the way the landing gears just hide into the ship. Speaking of flight mode, you could go ahead and open up the wings for attack mode, which works really well, looks good. Then, of course, for landing, you just close those and pull the feet back down. You can lift this up, and you can see where you could put the probe droids in the center there. Speaking of which, here's what those look like. You get 3 identical probe droid builds that look a little something like this. Then you just kind of roll them into here. Then you can lift the ship up from the bottom, and there's a really, really neat play feature where we get this rubber piece that kind of works as friction to hold this just enough. You build a whole mechanism here that pushes this red tab out just enough. So then you pull this back, and you could drop out those probe droids through that escape door. Then you open the escape door back, pull this, and just that red tab opening and pushing back just enough is what opens the door, as you can see. So, starting from the bottom, remember we've got these 3 probe droids that just dropped out. You open up the nose, and you can rope these in and roll them into place just like that. Interestingly, you can see that there are some green and pink pieces used on the inside. I don't know if that's a reference to anything Star Wars, but it is a little bit jarring. I'm not really sure that I love it, but it does kind of help break up the gray and dark gray monotony that a lot of Star Wars sets have going for them. In the kind of bridge area, if you will, there's a lot of unique pieces here used just to show some detail. Then, of course, we've got the red line right there, which is supposed to be like where Darth Maul is looking out of, so it's not really built to scale. But you can open this. This is a printed piece, which is nice. And open up the back to reveal, well, actually, you got to pull these out too, to reveal Darth Maul's speeder, which sits in there. And then, of course, there are clips here where you could put Darth Maul's lightsaber, a little computer for him to be able to, you know, navigate the ship. And then, of course, Darth Maul just kind of sits on his speeder. So we're going to take the minifig. You got to turn his hands, as you can see, and sit him there. He doesn't actually sit on studs, per se. So he just kind of clips into place there. Then you can lock him into place there, push this up, push this down, and he's ready to fly. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So you open that up, take all of that out, just recloses a little something like that. And I really love all these flat pieces here because it does allow for these little dome pieces to be able to swivel to the side, and I think that the shaping they did with kind of like the rainbow design here works really well, and that's about all there is to say for the set. It really works well, it's very dense, and I like it quite a bit. So let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's going to bring it to a close for this review. Like I said, $70 is a lot of money, and yes, the piece count is 640 pieces with 4 exclusive minifigs, so it's right on the money as far as piece to price ratio, as well as the minifig count, but I don't know, $70 is a lot of money for what's here, and while it's a really great build and really dense, I think it's really, really wise to wait for a sale on this, even just to shave off $5 or $10. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.